What's up, everybody? DeucesJack at VapingInsider.com. I want to welcome you to my new studio. Check it out. Yes, that's right. You heard it here first. DeucesJack will not be doing written reviews anymore. I'm going on to video now. It's time to move on. I feel like I've taken the written thing just about as far as I could take it. I want to try something new. I want to try a new venue. I want to see how successful I'll be on the YouTube venue. For those of you that don't know me, maybe I'll give you a little bit of background information now. Basically, I started off like all of you guys, man. I was a smoker, working Joe. I was a bartender in this hipster neighborhood in Brooklyn. And, I was running out during my breaks, catching a quick smoke, running back in, going back to work. And a bunch of hipsters kind of cornered me that were regulars at my bar. And they were like, hey, man, you should really start vaping, man. That stuff's going to kill you. And I'm like, And they kept at me for weeks and weeks. And, I wound up becoming close to one of the guys that comes in. And he's like, yo, let me take you across the street to the vape shop, introduce you to some people. Maybe you can find something that'll get you off of cigarettes. And I was like, all right. So I went across the street to the vape shop, met some of the people there, met the owner. I wound up walking out with a SIG 75. It only did temperature control and nickel, if you remember. And I had a sub-tank, a Kangatech sub-tank mini on top. And, after I got that and I found the juice that I liked, I just didn't go back to smoking. From the first day I bought that setup, I was a vapor. I mean, I loved it. And, like everybody else, I was looking for information. I would check out YouTube. I was checking out some of the forums. I really liked the forum because I've always been a big reader, so I always liked the written word. And I had shiny-itis like a lot of us when we first start, right? I needed the latest and the greatest. I wanted to have the latest mod that came out with the latest tank. And, I started buying tons of gear. I mean, I was ordering different setups every week. I was getting vape mail like crazy. And, I started basically writing my thoughts and feelings about what I was receiving. I was posting, it up on the forum and saying what I thought about, certain setups and everything. And people seemed to respond really well to that. So I decided, let me start doing written reviews. And I came up with a template, which broke down everything very clearly and very concisely, into sections and everything. And I started doing written reviews. And, I kind of took the written review thing to a level that most people haven't seen before. I mean, before you know it, I got companies, emailing me and PMing me, hey, Jack, can you review this for us? Can you review that for us? And I was like, hey, yeah, sure, send it in, I'll review it. And I just started banging out reviews like crazy. And, the more reviews I did, the more stuff that came in. And, a lot of people on the forums, they copied my review style, they copied my format, which is fine. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. There's only one DeucesJack, though, so they could take my format all they want. They could rename the sections and whack around the sections all they want. They're never going to be me. There's quite a few hacks out there right now using my exact format. And like I said, that's fine. That's cool. I hope they do well with it. But, after a while, I started getting some recognition on the forum. The owner approached me about being a moderator on the forum. So I became a moderator because I was one of the more well-respected members on the forum. Moderating really wasn't my thing. I'm not really a rule enforcer. I'm more of a rule breaker. I did it for maybe 9 months, a year, and then I just kind of dropped out of it because it just wasn't my thing. And then right around that time, Vaping Insider approached me, and the owner was like, hey, Jack, we like your style, we like the way you write, we love the following you have. What would you say about doing reviews exclusively for VapingInsider.com? And I was like, I never really thought about that. Let me give it some thought. We negotiated a little bit. My biggest worry was that, they were going to make my style like more corporate, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted, a DeucesJack review to still be a DeucesJack review. So creatively, I was a little worried. But, I've been doing reviews now for VapingInsider.com for almost a year now, and, they've let me do my own thing, let me be myself, and, I love them for that. About 3 months into that, the owner approached me and he's like, hey, what do you think about going to one of these vape conventions? Have you ever been to one before? I said, yeah, I go to these things all the time. He said, well, how would you feel about going with a camera crew and covering the event? And I was like, what do you mean by covering the event? He's like, go there, interview the juice manufacturers, the mod manufacturers, the YouTubers that are there, all the people in the vape world. And, that's another thing we kind of pioneered here at VapingInsider.com. Nobody was doing that when we started doing it. So, I went to the vape convention. The first one I went to was Foxwoods. I went with a full camera crew. We interviewed all the mod makers. We interviewed all the juice companies. We did flavor profiles. I interviewed a lot of the YouTube reviewers. Since then, I've been to California. I've been to Miami. Been back to Foxwoods a bunch of times. I was in Brooklyn for the business-to-business event. I mean, we go to all the vape shows now, and we're the guys that interview everybody. Now you're starting to see other people do what we're doing at the vape shows. So, you could say myself and Vaping Insider, we're kind of blazing a trail here because we're doing things that nobody ever did. So, once I was comfortable on camera, I approached the boss and I was like, hey, what do you think about me starting a YouTube channel? And he couldn't have been more excited. I mean, he was 100% behind it. He wanted DeucesJack to be on the Vaping Insider YouTube channel, and that's how we got here today. So, I hope you guys, check out the channel. One thing I will promise you is that I give it to you straight. I don't pull any punches. If something's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. I don't care who made it. I don't care who collaborated on it. That means nothing to me. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. If it's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap. If it's great, I'm going to tell you it's great too. That's just the way I roll, man. I've been like that my whole life. So definitely check out some of the videos I'm about to drop. I do want to warn you, I haven't been doing written reviews for about a month now, so I am kind of backlogged. So if you see a bunch of videos just hitting it, I mean, boom, 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 that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be cranking them out. It's not that I didn't use them. Believe me, I've been using most of the stuff that I'm going to review in the next 2 weeks for at least a month. And that's the other thing I wanted to cover too. You will never see me do an out-of-the-box review. I won't do it. When I was doing the written reviews, I was getting 90% of the stuff that the mainstream YouTubers were getting, and I was getting it at the same time. That's unheard of for a written reviewer, okay? And I couldn't believe how many YouTubers use a mod or a tank for like a day or two and throw up a review. I mean, it actually made me sick. I would talk to another reviewer, and I'm like, and he gets the same stuff that I get, and I'm like, how is this guy throwing up a review of this mod? He couldn't have had it for more than a day or two. That will never happen on this channel. I promise you that. I'm an everyday guy. I'm an everyday worker. I run around the city. I put mods in my bag. I put mods in my jacket pocket. You're gonna get real world, views on the stuff that I use because I use them like a real world vapor. So I will never do an out-of-the-box review, and I will always give it to you straight. If that's the type of channel you want, if that's the type of channel you're looking for, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. I'm excited about this new venture, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much. We're out of here. Make sure you check out some of the reviews that I'm going to be dropping real soon. Deuces.